So this feels like these might be a little redundant, but these are back, but different. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is fun.
It's an 85 cut.
It's the 85 cut.
I can tell by that midsole, by that straight back. Look at me.
Toe, everything, bro. This is sick. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and review on these bad boys right here. I don't know what these are called, like officially. I know that these are released overseas, which is how we got them. Actually, this video is brought to you guys by the good folks over at our WearTesters Discord community. This is actually not my pair. One of the Discord members grabbed these and asked me if I wanted to borrow them for a review, and I said, sure. So yeah, big thank you to you guys if you were interested in helping out this channel and supporting it in ways outside of YouTube. Our WearTesters Discord community is the best place to do it. Not only does it help us out, but it helps out everybody within the community. Everybody talks to each other. Buy, sell, trade for retail or less usually. So those are always like really great things to have within a community in and of itself. And yeah, outside of that, they're just really good people. So if you were interested in joining, all you got to do is click the link down below in the description box. It'll send you over to weartesters.com/join where you can read all about it. And with that being said, the box is just a simple Air Jordan 1 box, so nothing really to write home about. Very OG, and I like that. The shoes themselves are going to be just like the Air Jordan 1 85 cut black and red, or bread, or whatever they want to call them nowadays. The ones that came out during NBA All-Star Weekend. So the shoe itself has like transitioned from the very first release up until this most recent one, and little tweaks and changes have been made along the way to make them as accurate as possible when compared to the original Jordan 1 from 85. So again, this pair right here is closer in shape and style and all of that stuff to the most recent black and red release. So what you're gonna have with these guys is still gonna be the hang tag. This has come on all of them. These things are awesome. This is an OG feature. Inside of there, you see all the tech information. And this is just something that I wish that they would do more often on models today, but they only do it sometimes. When they do it, I love it, but it's just done sparingly, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know why. They got all the stuff. Might as well just print it on the box somewhere. Jordan Brand actually has been doing good about that. Not only are they doing that with the little hang tags, but then a lot of the newer models will come with little graphics printed onto the box lid. You know what I mean? Like on the back side. And I think that that is just awesome. These guys right here, same shape, style, build, material quality as the black and red. Some people are gonna love that. Some people are gonna hate that. I personally think that it's fantastic. Like just looking at this leather, like this is dope, dude. The only thing is that the shoe's a little bit redundant because we had an Air Jordan 1 OG high, which is different than the 85 cut in the same exact colorway. Different materials, but still same colorway. So I feel like I'm going or re-going over some history here, but just in case you were unaware, back in the 80s, during the original run of the Air Jordan 1, there was a really popular colorway, at least it's really popular nowadays, called the Air Jordan 1 Shadow. And that is a black and red based version of the shoe, much like the black and royals, but instead of like the red or the blue and things like that, all of the extra panels or the colored panels are gray, and they're beautiful. They're awesome. This guy right here is actually what almost released. So this is a sample colorway from 1985, which I find fat. I love samples, dude. I think samples are so cool. They're so fun. Sometimes you see them and you're like, yeah, I get why those didn't release. And then sometimes you see them and be like, why didn't they? This is one of those drops where it's just like, this would have been a really fun shoe. It's that kind of like UNC vibe where all of the exterior panels are colored with a solid color interior. Instead of a white base version, it's a black base. It's just really cool. It's really different. And I like it. I get that they didn't want to be super derivative back then, but at the same time, like, why not? That's one of the cool things is that nowadays we get stuff like this. And even though it didn't originally release, this was an original thought. It was originally sampled, therefore, kind of, it's an original colorway. Now, starting with the outsole, we still have the greatest traction of all time. This is done up in the shadow gray kind of look. Moving on up, we've got a rubber cup sole. This is the 1985 version of the Air Jordan 1 cup sole. So this is closer to, but not identical to what originally came out back then. They are still a little bit off in certain ways, but at the same time, the Air Jordan 1 was sourced and manufactured in multiple different factories. And so it just really depends on what they're picking and choosing to blend into what this product is here. But either way, this one has the sail tree treatment on there. I think, again, it looks really good with this particular colorway, so I actually really like it. Now, inside of that rubber cup sole is a polyurethane wedge. Inside that polyurethane wedge is an encapsulated heel air sole unit. On top of all of that is a board last, and board lasts are something that were used on really old shoes prior to shank plates and torsion plates and things like that, because that board last is going to act as that plate. Now on top of that is this insole right here. This again is the same exact insole from the black and red release from earlier in 2025, that all-star kind of like drop. So these are different than previous Air Jordan 185 cuts. So this guy right here is closer to what originally came out in the shoe in the 80s. So this is basically like a recreation or a replica of that original insole. I don't think that this is a better insole than what we were getting. We were getting like thick polyurethane insoles, which were freaking amazing. This insole sucks in comparison, to be perfectly blunt, but it's very much closer to the OG. So if you want that like historical side of things, then you got it. If you are like me and you want a little bit of both, you want some history and some comfort, you're gonna have to swap this guy out, which you totally can. It comes right out, you're good to go. But basically it's like a layered system. So you got the kind of like terry cloth liner. After that, you've got the just like basic foam. It's kind of like similar to stuff that's inside of the nylon tongue, which shouldn't be used as, you know, an insole, but whatever. And then on the bottom of that, we have something similar to polyurethane. It's just very thin. Also, you have the characters right there at the bottom. This was something that was like sampled on the original samples of the Air Jordan 1 High. These are things that we've talked, this is why I feel like it's kind of redundant. We talked about this sample colorway in the Shadow 2.0 review, and then we talked about what all of this stuff is in the black and red review from earlier this year and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like repeating information, but I suppose that's fun, you know what I mean? It's just it's hard to keep it all streamlined. But again, same exact stuff, same story, just different color. The shoes do come with two different colored laces like they typically would. They have the black and the gray equipped. You got a classic nylon tongue here, and it looks fantastic. If you look inside of the collar and everything, you've got an original style like stamp. This is basically what the size tags and the product numbers would be like in the 80s, where they would just kind of like print it right onto the liner and stuff like that. So it's a 1985 release, and then you've got factory information and product code numbers and all of that cool stuff. Now, like I was saying before, the build here is, I think, really nice, but some people are going to just really dislike it. I don't know why people dislike quality stuff, but for some reason they do. They like the really thin, soft stuff, probably because it breaks in quicker, which I understand, again, for comfort reasons. But when we're talking about quality, you want something that's going to last. And this type of material is thick, it's durable, it's rugged. You really got to break it in, and it takes a long time. It's not something to play around with. It's like a work boot or like a new baseball glove or mitt or whatever. Like those things, you got to put like some real work into it to make it so that they feel right. This type of shoe is like that. Now, when are these releasing stateside? I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea. I didn't even know that they released overseas, but they have been like available for a while apparently. So yeah, so whenever they are released, hopefully everybody that wants one is able to get a pair easily. I know that the black and reds were hard to get. I would imagine these will be the same way, since Jordan Brand wants to do that whole like false scarcity thing and make everybody panic trying to grab. You know what I mean? Thinking that they want it even if they don't. You gotta love marketing. Now, in terms of sizing, with this version of the Air Jordan 1, they did tweak everything a little bit, especially with the insole change, so they don't fit quite like the other 85 cuts. So with this colorway, as well as the black and reds, you could do one of two things. You can go true to size if you want, especially if you put in a thick orthotic or insole. But what I would recommend is going down half a size, especially for most. It's gonna give you the best one-to-one fit. It's gonna be easier to break these things in. It's gonna be better to wear and all of that stuff. So that's what I would do personally. Now, with all of that being said, what is today's viewer submitted question of the day?
This one I'm actually going to ask our son when he gets out of school today. Only because he's, for Halloween, on his like 6th or 7th iteration of Spider-Man.
He's lucky there's a Spider-Verse.
Oh, I know. I'm pretty sure we've even had a question of the day for you where you had to like list your top 3 favorite Spider-Man.
Probably.
This one though, I don't know if you've ever even thought about it, but out of all the Spider-Man villains, which one would you like to be?
Which one would I like to be?
Yeah.
I don't want to be bad
So you
guy.
don't get to be Spider-Man. Instead, you are a villain from his universe.
No, I want to be Spider-Man.
No.
Why?
Because Pepperoy9456 would like to know.
But I'm not a bad guy. What did Zangief say in that movie?
And I say, Zangief, you are bad guy. but this does not mean you're a bad guy.
If I could be any Spider-Man villain, I have to actually be them, or I just get their stuff, like their powers or their suits or whatever it is that they have, their power, you know what I mean? Like,
I guess that.
so I don't have to be them, like I don't have to be Norman Osborn,
No.
but I can be the Green Goblin. What's funny is like my first thought is like the Scorpion, but I would not want to be, he's trapped in that suit. That sounds awful.
Is the Rhino trapped in as well?
I think the Rhino is in certain iterations. I think the original one specifically, but like they've done the stupid mech ones too. And so nobody likes those. Maybe somebody does, and if you do, I apologize. But anyways, yeah. So that's kind of like my first, like where my first thoughts go. A cop-out answer though is like who wouldn't want the symbiote?
So you're gonna be Venom?
Well, first off, like Venom looks cool. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
but like your power that you're getting is also like, it's almost like getting syphilis, like eating away at your brain.
No. That's only in the movie. Okay, we're talking about comic book. All
Okay.
right? So comic book version of Venom, it's just a symbiote. They do have a symbiotic relationship, but it's not killing him. You know what I'm saying? If anything, it saved his ass because he didn't know or realize that he had cancer.
I thought in the comic books he's obsessed with him too. Is it
With
not?
Peter?
Yes.
Well, yeah, it's pissed that Peter rejected it. That's why he's mad. He's like a girlfriend. You know what I mean? So, but like
A
why?
jilted lover.
Yes, I didn't mean to blame it all on women. It's not them. But like, that's what the thing is. And like, it keeps him alive once he like realizes after being not bonded with it that he had cancer. And then he starts dying. And only with the suit does he like maintain life. But like, think about it. Like, you don't have to change your clothes no more because it just makes it up for you. It protects you from all damage. Like, you get shot, you don't really. Like,
So is it on you like a clear coat all the time?
the way that they make it seem like it's just, you know what I mean? Suit. Like,
But
it's
even
just,
when it's not a suit, is it
I don't know
a
where
clear
it's
coat?
at, okay? I don't know what orifice it's in, but it's somewhere.
Okay.
But gives you super strength. You mimic Spider-Man's abilities. You can tune out his spider sense, even though, again, I'm not trying to be a bad guy, but like, just saying. You don't have to have the teeth and the tongue. Like, you can look like anything. But what about you guys? If you could pick one Spider-Man villain to be, who would it be? And on top of all of that, sound off below and let us know what you think about the Air Jordan 1 High 85. What are they gonna call these? Are these gonna be the Shadow 2.0s? Is this gonna be a reverse Shadows? Promo sample, unreleased sample, what could have been the Shadows but isn't? Sound off below, let us know. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. We will catch you in the next one. So until then, you guys have a good one.